right, I had some people asking, hi, can you do a tutorial on how you styled your hair in these pictures back from a few months ago, which was about 9 to 12 months after my third hair transplant. So I can't show you how I did it because I cut my hair shorter for the time being, but I can tell you about what I did to get it to look like this. Medium length, just messy fringe hairstyle. I hadn't cut my hair on the top of my head at all since my third hair transplant in March 2024. So this is a full 9 to 12 months growth without touching the hair on the top at all. I obviously trimmed up the sides and the back, but I let my hair grow out. Let's talk about how I got it to look like this. So first thing I would do is get up, take a shower. They say you're not supposed to shampoo your hair every day for optimal hair health, but I still use these products daily. I use the Minoxidil pretty much every night or every other night, and then on the nights I don't use that, I use this rosemary oil. So this product builds up in your hair. So it's really hard to not shampoo your hair every morning if you use these products. Otherwise, that buildup just sort of sticks in your hair. So I do shampoo my hair almost every day. So I would shampoo my hair in the shower. After my hair transplants, and especially because I have straight, thin, fine hair, my goal is to produce maximum volume. So I use a super volumizing shampoo of some kind. Some days I would use this one, the Intelligent Shop Super Volumizing Ketoconazole shampoo. So this contains that ketoconazole that can help scalp health. This is just a shampoo though. So if I was wanting to add a conditioner in as well, which I did, every other day or every 2 or 3 days, I would use Everyman Jack. It's one of my favorites as well. Tea tree. Thickening. This is a super volumizing shampoo as well. The conditioner in it, I like the way it leaves my hair feeling. Hop out of the shower and then I would just towel dry it. So take a towel, ruffle it up a little bit. I have never used hair dryers. After towel drying it, I would take a brush like this because the goal after you have hair transplants, remember, is to maximize that volume. And I want my hair strands to be spread sort of across the whole surface area. I don't want them to be bunched up in any certain area because then they're going to leave other areas exposed more. So I want all the hair strands to be as spread out as possible. So I would take a brush like this and I would brush it all backwards as it's sort of damp. I would just brush everything towards the back, put that down, and then I would just sort of push the hair forward gently with my hands until it was aiming forward. And then after that, at the very end, what I would do is take this brush again and I would just sort of come here to the front side edges and I would just sort of curl it up and out like this and in the front a little bit and then a little bit on the other side. And that helped that little just that little curl fringe, messy fringe style at the front. And then a lot of days I could just leave it like that and it would be fine without any products, honestly. Just because of the way it was sitting, because of the volumization from the shampoo and conditioner in the shower. But I did experiment with some different products. So let's talk about the products that I ended up settling on to help sort of lock in that look a little better. One thing that makes it difficult for me to get the right hair product for my hair is that typically people who have thin and straight and fine hair also tend to have oily scalps and oily hair. The moisture in the oil from the scalp just easily reaches the end of the hair strands. But mine isn't very oily for whatever reason. Even though I have straight, thin hair, my scalp is kind of on the dry side. So when products are usually aimed for people with thin or straight hair, I have to take into account the fact that my hair isn't oily as most people's is who would be buying those products. The first leave-in product that I really tried using on my hair after the hair transplants was like a leave-in conditioner, tea tree. That's one of the popular ones. I did like this a little bit, but it turned out to be kind of unnecessary for me because I was using that super volumizing shampoo and conditioner in the shower most days. So using a leave-in conditioner on top of that is really unnecessary, and it just made my hair look more wet and moist, which is not the goal for after a hair transplant, right? I'm trying to maximize that volume, and the wetter my hair looks, the thinner it looks, which is not the goal for after a hair transplant. So I really kind of just stopped using the leave-in conditioner then. I also tried using this other one. This is just like a hair oil, leave-in conditioning oil with argan oil. It made my hair feel nice, but it just ended up being unnecessary. The only good reasons I would use this for would be if I really needed to sort of add some moisture if it got really dry. Then I would use one of these leave-in conditioning products. What I did end up liking a lot of days to produce that sort of medium length messy fringe look is a sea salt spray, just sort of a light sea salt spray. I used this one from Viking Revolution a little bit, and I also got this one from Based Body Works. So the sea salt sprays, it's a light product though, it's lightweight, it doesn't lock your hair in at all. So even after spraying the sea salt spray on, it wouldn't add much weight to my hair. My hair would still sort of move around a little bit throughout the day, which was okay. A lot of days it was fine. So this is an okay product that I did use a lot. However, a lot of times when I applied the sea salt spray, by the end of the day, my hair would end up looking very dry. So especially if you just apply a little bit too much of this. So I really had to go light on the sea salt spray. Then I also tried some like dry texture powders, which normally are recommended for people who have thin and straight hair like I do, because normally those people have oily hair. So the hair powder is like a drying product that helps it, sort of look more together. However, this really, I kept trying to use it. It just really didn't work out well for me because I already have dry hair and a dry scalp. So putting dry hair powder on top of that really didn't help me personally much. One other product I ended up liking a lot was this matte clay spray. This is sort of like a little bit heavier of a product, so it helped create some weight to my hair so that it wouldn't, sort of fly and blow all around. So a lot of times what I would do is I would spray in the sea salt spray first, just sort of lightly, and then I would spray the matte clay spray on top of that, and it would sort of add some weight and keep it a little bit more locked in. And I'd say a lot of days towards the end of my hairstyle at this length before I cut it shorter, I would just forget about the sea salt spray entirely, just because it didn't really do a whole lot for me anyway, and it was so lightweight. So I ended up liking this little bit heavier of a product, the matte clay spray. And I would just take that after I was done, fluffing up my hair, getting it all dry, brushing it forward with my hands, and then doing that little curl action at the front edges. And then I would just take the matte clay spray and I would just spray that, all over sort of the surface of my hair. And that would add some weight to the hair and just sort of keep it a little bit more locked in place than it would be otherwise. Then I would just give it some shakes like that, get it all messy, fluffed up, spread out, then I'd be good for the day. I noticed some people might have mentioned on some of my videos that they thought my hair looked too dry in the videos where I was talking about my hair transplants. They might have said it looked too dry and like straw-like and that it needed to look healthier. I understand that, although, and that's part of why I cut my hair shorter too, which was just to sort of refresh the hair and get it growing, from closer to the scalp again and sort of refresh it for the first time after my last hair transplant. But remember, the goal for me after my hair transplants is to increase the volume. So just having it a little bit drier helps with that. If I let my hair get too moist or too wet looking, it just becomes more transparent, and that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do. And I actually prefer just sort of a dry matte look anyway. So even though it does sort of look on the dry side, it's fine. It's a look that I'm comfortable with because it helps spread the hair strands out across the whole surface area and maximize volume, which is the goal that I want to achieve after hair transplants. All right, that's it for the medium length messy fringe hairstyle that I had back a few months ago. I'll make a separate video talking about how I do my hair at this length, a little bit shorter. I also found a new really awesome product that I've been using in the hair that helps a lot, and I'll talk to you more about that in the next video. See you soon.